Welcome back to another video. TikTak here, and today we're going to be checking out the Cookie Crusher, the Ginger Blaster itself, the brand new pistol that is dropped from Frostnite for surviving 30 minutes. That's the only way to get this pistol, and we have to admit that's actually pretty difficult to do. Frostnite itself is one of the, if not the hardest content that they have ever put out in this game, and it's a lot of fun. But is it worth the grind? I know that it's very hard to do Frostnite without a full team of 4, which, by the way, if you stop by my stream, I'll help you with that. But I know not everybody can make it, so I wanted to bring you this content anyway. So is the pistol good? Is it worth the grind? What character should you play it on? How should you roll it? And why is it so similar to another pistol in the game? And being so, which one's better? We're gonna find out all that and more coming up right now. So what makes the Ginger Blaster so damn good? Because trust me, it is damn good. Well, first of all, it is a fast-firing, medium-sized magazine and decent fire rate pistol. And if you are running pistols, or if you watched any of my other videos ever, this is how you roll them. Almost all pistols, you're going to go crit rating and 2 crit damage if possible. This one is stuck on physical, and that does detract some points from it, leading towards the other pistol, the Last Word, maybe edging it out in that aspect. However, this pistol you can also run with double crit damage, which makes it very similar. In fact, we're going to take a look at the stats, and you're going to see that they are basically the same. The only difference is the perk at the bottom makes it a different kind of gun. Plus, when you aim down sights, ADS, it becomes a little different, and it's just going to depend on which playstyle you prefer. Me, personally, I prefer the gingerbread pistol, the Ginger Blaster, the Cookie Crusher. I prefer that one because it has more utility, and anything that brings more utility to a game is kind of a bonus for me. So let's check out the stats together and see which one edges out the other. As you can see, the Ginger Blaster has a bit more DPS, less than 1,000, but DPS in this game is very skewed based on what rolls the weapon has, so we're not going to go by that. The damage is slightly higher per shot, even though the rolls are the same. Crit chance, crit damage, same. Fire rate, same. Magazine size on the Ginger is higher, but that's because I do not have magazine size on my Last Word. The range, this is something that does matter. The Last Word has about 200 more range, and it helps. It does help. The Ginger Blaster is kind of more of an up-close weapon, but we're going to talk about why that is. The reload time you can't really take into account because, like I said, the Last Word has reload as a perk and the Ginger Blaster does not. Lastly, the impact. This is where things kind of get weird. The Last Word is best used for, bigger targets to mow them down in its non-ADS hip fire mode. The impact helps with staggering those enemies. The impact on the Ginger Blaster, however, is less, meaning more shots to actually get it done. If you compare it to the Judge, something similar, this is called power creeping. The Judge was originally released when the game first came out, and it's just not viable anymore. However, the Judge is a lot of fun to use and sounds fantastic, but the Ginger Blaster and the Last Word absolutely 100% outclass any other pistol that is similar to it. Let's talk real quick about what characters you want to use this on. Again, and of course, you're going to want to use it on Ranger, Deadeye, or Beetle Jess, whichever one you may have. It's fantastic on these characters. Bonus crit damage, bonus base damage, bonus crit chance, every single thing that you can get for more pistol damage, you want to run this thing. We can all agree that Outlanders are probably the best class in the game right now, finally getting above soldiers, because single target damage is just not as valuable as it has been in the past. When the game first came out, you needed that single target damage to take down the enemies. Now you could be level 60 with a level 90 or 80 in your group, and you can be doing doing a lot more damage than you technically should be based on their party shared stats. So we can agree that AoE has finally gotten better, or to a better point than single target damage, and soldiers probably for the first time aren't the best class in the game for DPS. Having a shock tower or a Teddy along with being able to DPS is just fantastic. Plus the mobility and the punching and the farming viability is great. All around, Outlanders are in a great friggin' spot, and trust me, back in the day they were terrible. Imagine not being able to drop any of your abilities if you didn't farm at least 8 to 10 fragments before the mission actually started. So of course you should run this on Beetlejuice or Ranger Deadeye, but you could use it on soldiers or any other class really. It's got enough firepower and enough damage fast enough that it'll be viable on any single class. The only issue with the Ginger Blaster is its range. Being a little shorter than the last word really starts to add up when you're trying to attack things. Also, the stability on the weapon isn't the greatest. It does miss at farther ranges, it really does, but the amount of damage that this thing kicks out kind of makes up for it. You'll see in the footage in the background me one-shotting almost everything and maybe like 3 to 4 bullets to take down level 118 smashers. It's kind of insane how much damage this thing does. But let's talk about its special perk. Its special perk being that when you kill something, it drops a gumdrop. Comparing it to the last word that just has the simple explosions on headshots, which doesn't really make sense for the gun, you lose a lot of DPS if you aim down sights with the last word. You always want to be firing and aiming and getting out as much damage as possible to kill the bigger targets with the last word and the Ginger Blaster. Both of them are super similar, and they even feel the same. In fact, I keep catching myself not aiming down sights with the Ginger Blaster because I feel like it's the last word. And that's another thing to touch on, is you can aim down sights on the Ginger Blaster, which is a bonus point for it. So let's talk about the bonus perks and which one is a little bit better in my opinion. Comparing the Ginger Blaster to the last word is kind of like comparing oranges to oranges. They are super similar. So picking one is going to be based on your playstyle and what level you are and kind of what you want from the weapon. So first up, the last word has amazing damage per second at 130,000 per second, which is absurd. Second of all, it has explosions on headshots, which is weird, like I said, because once you aim down sights, you lose a lot of DPS. And apologies for the footage in the background. The game I was in was just really delayed. Everything was like on a 1-second delay. So just check it out. The numbers, you'll see them pop up anyway. However, going back to what we were talking about, is the weapon itself, the Ginger Blaster, in my opinion, is slightly better, and that's basically because based on its utility perk, you can get more done with it, especially for the Frostnite event. Like I said in my previous video, Deadeye Jess, Beetlejuice is one of, if not the best character in the game for it. She has amazing damage for single target to get you to that 45-minute mark, and then after that, the mobility for the takers, plus being able to farm quicker with the punch. She's probably the best character in it, in my opinion. Also, having the pistol drop all these gumdrops, which I'm not positive on, but I don't think disappear, really helps out. The only time that I would switch to the last word is if a taker was coming in and I needed to be more precise, because it is a farther range, more precise gun. But they are so similar, it's hard to pick apart either one. They are both fantastic weapons, and if you have either one, or if you're tight on schematic XP and perk up and you can't afford to level up both, just pick one. They are super similar. I cannot stress this enough. If you do not have the resources to perk both up, or you want to try one or something like that, you will see that they are basically the same weapon. I just think the utility that the Gingerbread Blaster brings, that's hard to say, is very underestimated and needs to be used more in the game. Things like this, or the Candy Corn LMG that drop healing things, or anything they might bring to the table later, are very interesting. It shows a weird way or something new that Fortnite might go later down the line, and that brings a lot of hope and promise into the game for me. So these are my thoughts and opinions. I personally think the edge based on utility, because I'm a big fan of it, so it's a little biased, goes to the Ginger Blaster. The last word is still a fantastic weapon, but the Ginger Blaster for me is just a lot of fun and interesting, and it heals a lot. Those gumdrops heal for like 30k. It's kind of ridiculous sometimes that you can just heal up. Sometimes I try to not heal or use my adrenaline rush and just try to heal back up from picking up the gumdrops. Does it work all the time? No. Is it helpful? Absolutely. Is it helpful to my team? Even better. So these are my thoughts and opinions. If you roll it crit chance, double crit damage, you will be absolutely fine. Play it on Beetlejuice or Ranger Deadeye. They are technically the same character anyway, just a reskin. Keep this and the last word on you if you want to. It's just that good. The weapon is that amazing. I would roll something like the Ginger Blaster, the last word, and then maybe a Desert Eagle just to hit a little harder, do a little more single target burst damage. That's how I would run this weapon. It's absolutely fantastic. Pick it up. The gumdrops heal for so much that you can stay alive a lot longer than you would think. So I honestly also believe that it's probably one of the better weapons for Frostnite if you're playing Ranger Deadeye, which, like I said in my last video, you should be playing Ranger Deadeye. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out here. If you want to check out this kind of stuff live, come stop by the stream, twitch.tv/roundedtiktak. I am live right now, helping everybody I possibly can to get through the 40-minute timer on Frostnite. So if you want to stop by and, ask any questions or need any help, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this video. If you like the Ginger Blaster, let me know down in the comments below if you're using it, if you think the other one's better. Do you think I have it wrong? I don't think I do, but maybe I do. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll see you on the next one. TikTak out.